Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about environmental pollution analysis, unit number 2, water pollution analysis. In earlier lecture we have discussed many points uh, of introduction and the next step. Today we are going to discuss about analysis of water. So first of all we start with some water basics. In earlier lecture we have also discussed about this the nature of water environmental factor, but today we are going to discuss about water analysis. Then we should discuss it again. The nature of water, environmental factors, how environmental factor affecting the nature of water. Water is a product of the environment, absorbing and dissolving a part of everything it touches in both air and water. The nature of water, environmental factors. Air. As water falls to earth, the rain serves to cleanse air. Rain will absorb solid matter, gases, odor, and other impurities that pollute air. મતલબ કે જ્યારે વરસાદ આવે છે ત્યારે વરસાદનું પાણી છે સોલિડ મેટર, ગેસીસ, ઓડર એન્ડ અધર ઇમ્પ્યુરિટીઝને એબ્ઝોર્બ કરી લે છે. કાર્બન ડાયોક્સાઇડ gases in atmosphere can penetrate precipitation as it falls, causing rainfall to become slightly acidic. Means carbon dioxide making rainwater slightly acidic because of carbonic acid. Rainwater can also encounter sulfuric acid and some types of bacteria. Means rainwater consists somewhat some amount of sulfuric acid and some types of bacteria. So this is how rainwater absorbing many solid matter, gases, odor and other impurities. Now we discuss about surface. Surface properties have a great impact on water reaching earth. As water percolates into ground, it loses some of its impurity. It absorbs from air, but while the soil filters out impurities, it also allows water to dissolve large amounts of earth's minerals, etc. Right? You got my point? Surface property have a great impact on water reaching earth. જે સરફેસ છે અર્થની જે સરફેસ છે એની અસર પણ પાણી જે પહોંચે છે રેઇન વોટર એના ઉપર ખૂબ જ થાય છે. એઝ વોટર પરકોલેટ્સ ઇન્ટુ ગ્રાઉન્ડ, જે પાણી ધીમે ધીમે અંદર જમા થાય છે તે પાણી પરકોલેટ્સ આપણે કહીએ તેને percolates into ground, it loses some of its impurities. It absorbs from air. જે એરમાંથી જે ઇમ્પ્યુરિટી એબ્સોર્બ કરી છે એ ત્યાં સરફેસ ઉપર છોડી દે છે. But while the soil filters out impurities, it also allows water to dissolve large amounts of earth minerals. Means when water comes to the contact of surface, it dissolves many minerals, earth's minerals. રાઈટ, એટલે કે પાણીના અંદર ઘણા જે અર્થની સરફેસના મિનરલ્સ છે એના અંદર ડિસોલ્વ થાય છે. નાવ ફર્સ્ટ એક્ઝામ્પલ ઇઝ વેજીટેટેડ એરિયાઝ, O2 is consumed and CO2 is produced through decay of vegetation. Limestone areas, H2O containing H2CO3 reacts with stone, becoming hard. CaMg bicarbonates are formed. Granite sandy areas, H2O holds H2CO3 but does not become hard due to absence of limestone. So this is how we can see different areas of surface and the nature of water and environmental factor affecting to water, air and surface. Now we start with the introduction of analysis, water analysis. Why water analysis is necessary? Then we can say to access water quality, to provide pure water to public for drinking, to analyze microbial organisms, preventive measure and effective disinfection procedures, sewage and wastewater analyzed. So these all are the factors of necessity of water analysis. These all are the reasons. Quantitative measurement of water pollution. There are mainly 4 methods of quantitative measurement of water pollution: physical analysis, chemical analysis, biological analysis and microbiological analysis. Then from physical, chemical, biological and microbiological analysis to assess water quality, to provide pure water to public for drinking, domestic and industrial purposes. પીવા માટેનું પાણી, ઘર વપરાશ માટેનું પાણી અને ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીયલી જે યુઝ થતું હોય એ પાણી પ્રોવાઈડ કરવા માટે, to choose the most effective treatment method for impure water, to determine the efficiency towards natural purification, to trace the origin, to check efficiency, uniformity and consistency of treatment processes, to analyze whether infection by microbial organisms, to find out particular microorganism and to suggest preventive measures and effective disinfection procedures. Sewage and wastewater are analyzed to determine the influence of them on receiving waters and to protect them from contamination. So these all are the factors and reasons why we need to analyze water. In earlier slide we have also discussed about this, but in this slide you can know it in detail. These all are the major reasons of water analysis. In next slide, analysis of water pollution. Means how we can analyze polluted water, which kind of treatments are available. Then there are mainly 4 methods: physical assessment, chemical assessment, biological assessment and microbiological assessment. We can analyze analyze water pollution by mainly 4 assessment: physical, chemical, biological and microbiological. In that physical assessment, the main parameters are temperature, pH, turbidity. TSS means total suspended solid, total dissolved solid, TDS, and other factors are other, we can say, physical assessments are conductivity, taste, odor, color, and many things. Means physical properties. We can, by physical assessment, we can find the physical property of that polluted water. In chemical assessment, we can, by chemical assessment, we can find out acidity, alkalinity means basicity, COD, and chemical substances. Many chemical substances like different metals and hazardous substances we can find out by chemical assessment. Then by biological assessment we can find out many biological traces we can find out by that. BOD, biological oxygen demand. Microbiological assessment. By microbiological assessment we can find out the proportion of bacteria and other microbiological properties. So this is how we can analyze polluted water by different methods. And now in next slide we are going to discuss about physical assessment especially. Then we discuss about chemical assessment, then we discuss about biological assessment, and in the last we will discuss about microbiological assessment. So first we start with physical assessment, or we can say physical analysis. These all are main parameters of physical analysis: temperature, pH, turbidity, conductivity, total dissolved solid, total suspended solid, odor, color, and many more things, which are mostly the physical properties of polluted water. And we can find out these all properties by different methods. So we will discuss about this in our next slide. First we discuss about odor, the physical properties. We are starting with physical properties, then we start with chemical properties. So first of all we are going to discuss about physical properties of, or physical properties and analysis of water, polluted water or water pollution. Then we are going to discuss about odor. Odor in water are due to the presence of microscopic organisms or decaying vegetation, including algae, fungus or fungi, bacteria, H2S, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur compounds. So odor is due to of this presence of this all, especially presence of microscopic organisms or decaying vegetation, including algae, fungus or fungi, bacteria, H2S, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur compounds. How we can determine odor of any polluted water? For determination of odor, place 250 ml of sample in a 500 ml white mouth Erlenmeyer flask and sniff the odor. So by this way we can determine the odor. So this is our first property, first physical property, odor, and we can analyze by this way. Now our second property is turbidity. Turbidity is also a physical property. Turbidity in water mainly arises from colloidal material and fine suspended particles. So turbidity of water is mainly because of colloidal material and fine suspended particles. Turbidity means water become opaque with more turbidity, and if turbidity is less, then water looks clear and transparent. Turbidity can be measured by absorption metrically, visual method, and nephelometrically by instrumental methods. Right? So we can determine turbidity by both methods. Another methods used to measure turbidity is turbidity rod, which has a platinum needle, and Jackson's turbidimeter, which consists of metal stand over which a metal container is placed. So mainly turbidity of any polluted water can be measured by these all methods. So we can find out or we can determine turbidity by these all methods. Water basics, measurable property of water turbidity means this is a measurable property of water turbidity, and it's also a physical property. Turbidity can make water either cloudy or opaque depending on what makes up turbidity. Means which kind of turbidity is available in water, it makes it cloudy or opaque depending on what makes up turbidity. Turbidity is measured in NTUs, means nephelometric turbidity units. The higher the NTU value, the higher the intensity of scattered light. Here you can see turbidity. In above picture, there are three beakers in which more turbid solution has 1500 NTU units. Then you can see second one is 200 NTU units, and in first one 10 NTU units. Then turbidity is measured with turbidimeter. Turbidimeter is calibrated using vials of solution. Turbidity meter is calibrated using vials of solution which contains different NTU levels. Means by turbidimeter we can measure turbidity. You can see it in this picture, and vial. So this is your turbidimeter, and from that and with different vials you can measure turbidity. We will use different vials of different NTU levels, and then we can measure turbidity of any polluted water. Turbidity, nephelometrometry comprises intensity of scattered light. In earlier, what is the principle of that instrument is comprises intensity of scattered light. Instrument sensitivity must be able to detect turbidity differences of plus or minus 0.02 NTU. Lab reagent water may have to be filtered prior to use. Means we will use, if we are using water, then we will filter it first. Anything blocking light path, NG, scratches, smudges, air, bubbles, etc. blocking light path. And these all are the affecting factors. So this is how turbidimeter is working. It has a sensitivity of plus or minus 0.02 NTUs. Now we come to our next physical property, color. Color of polluted water or water pollution. Color in water is due to suspended particles in solution. Even pure water is not colorless. It is also of pale green color. Color of water may be caused by Fe, iron, Mn, manganese, Cu, copper, metals, iron, etc. Humus, algae, weeds, protozoa. These all are also, if these all are available in water, then it may cause color of water. Right? Color can be compared visually or photoelectrically. Means we can measure color visually or photoelectrically. Color is measured with an instrument known as tintometer. Yellow color indicates the presence of OM, organic matters. Yellow-red color indicates true color can be estimated by visual comparison with platinum cobalt standard solution. True color can be estimated by visual comparison with platinum cobalt standard solution. Unit is measured on cobalt scale. So by this way you can estimate color of any liquid or any polluted water. Visual comparison with platinum cobalt standard solution. Unit is measured on cobalt scale, right? So this is how you can estimate color of any water, and color is a physical property of water. So these all are known as physical analysis. Color analysis method is physical analysis method. Color, true color, color of water from which the turbidity has been removed. Color of water from which the turbidity has been removed. Standard color unit is less than or equal to 5 color units. Apparent colors, color due to substances in the solution and suspended matter. Contributed principally by colloidal or suspended material. Means apparent color is because of substances in solution and suspended matter, or colloidal or suspended material. Standard level is less than or become to 10 color units. Methods of identification or estimation of color is visual comparison colorimetric. Visual comparison colorimetric method. So this is how we can estimate or we can find out or analyze color of any water, containing impurities or polluted water. Taste. Dissolve mineral matters in water produce tastes but not odor. Dissolved minerals develop a taste in water. If faint bitter taste may be due to the presence of sulfate, while soapy or inky taste may be due to excess of sodium bicarbonate. So this is how we can identify taste. Way to remove objectionable taste and odor from water. It is to pass it through a filter bed containing activated charcoal. It means if we want to remove a taste or odor from water, then we pass water through a filter bed containing activated charcoal. We are using this method is also in laboratory for removing color and odor. If finally divided from of carbon, means activated charcoal if finally divided from carbon. The enormous surface area enable it to absorb large quantities of impurity. The enormous surface area enables it to absorb large quantities of impurities. Means charcoal surface, activated charcoal surface absorb impurity from water. When we are passing water through bed containing activated charcoal. So this is how we can remove taste and odor from water. Means we can purify water passing through bed containing activated charcoal. Right? Taste is also a physical property and we can say it is a physical analysis of water. Temperature. Temperature is also a physical property of water. Surface water differs considerably in temperature between winter and summer. Temperature measurements are useful in detecting an unexpected source of pollution. Means temperature measurement is also very useful for detecting pollution. In calculating alkalinity and in industrial water supplies for heat transmission calculation. In calculating alkalinity and in industrial water supply for heat transmission calculations, this temperature measurement is important. So this is how temperature measurement is useful. Temperature. Water temperature is a physical property expressing how hot or cold water is. As hot and cold are both arbitrary terms, temperature can further be defined as a measurement of the average thermal energy of a substance. This energy can be transferred between substances as the flow of heat. Heat transfer, whether from the air, sunlight, another water source or thermal pollution, can change the temperature of water. Means by this way temperature changes. By heat transfer from the air, sunlight or another water source, or thermal pollution can change the temperature or of water. And by these rods or needles we can measure temperature of any water. Water is hot or cold, we can say by its temperature. So this is also very useful parameter and of physical analysis or physical property. pH, hydrogen ion concentration. pH, a measure of hydrogen ion activity, is used to express the intensity of acidity or alkaline condition of a solution. Means pH is a measure of hydrogen ion activity. It is an also important factor in water analysis. Means this is also a very important factor of water analysis, and this is the part of physical analysis of water. pH of a sample can be determined by electrometrically. We can measure it by pH of sample by electrometrically. It involves the measurement of EMF of a cell comprising a glass electrode response to hydrogen ion and reference electrode. Means by measurement of EMF, a cell comprising a glass electrode respond to hydrogen ion and reference electrode. Means you are detecting pH in your TYBSc practicals by pH metry, and in that you can measure pH of any solution electrometrically. You are familiar with this instrument, pH metry instrument. Electrometrically you have measured pH of a solution, and we can find out the water is acidic or alkaline by its pH. pH meters used for measurements, right? As I have told you earlier that pH meters used for measurement. The desirable pH range for drinking water is 7 to 8.5. Means drinking water has pH between 7 to 8.5 range, right? Below 7 and above 8.5 pH water is not recommended for drinking purpose. Drinking water must have its pH between 7 to 8.5. Otherwise, variation of pH of water affects of any living organism. So, this is also very important physical property of any water, or we can say polluted water. By the pH variation we can find out the impurity, or we can say many things about the impurity of water. And there are also many another parameters or factors or physical properties by which we can find out how much the purity of water. So pH metry is also important, or pH, the physical property of a polluted water, is also very important factor. Water basics. Measurable properties of water pH. Means pH is also one of the measurable properties. We can measure pH by pH metry as we have discussed in earlier slide. You can see here a strip of pH scale in which you can see blue lines and red lines, and in middle you can see at pH 7 it is neutral, water will be neutral. From 0 to 7 water is acidic, and from 7 to 14 water will be basic. You can see increasing acidity going towards red lines or red strips, increasing basicities going towards blue lines. So this is how we can measure acidity and basicities. pH refers to water being acidic, basic or neutral. Means by pH value we can say water is acidic or water is basic or neutral. pH affected by chemicals. Therefore, it is a good indication that water may be changing chemically. Means by variation of pH, we can say that there is influence of any chemical or any particles. Right? So by measuring pH of water, we can say many things about the property of water. pH stands for the potential of hydrogen ion. The neutral point of 7 indicates the presence of equal concentrations of free hydrogen and hydroxide ions. Means at the neutral point of 7 there is equal amount or equal concentration of free hydrogen ions and free hydroxide ions. Each decreases in pH by 1 pH unit means a tenfold increase in concentration of hydrogen ion. Means decrease in pH means the solution or water is acidic. Increase in pH we can say means from 7 to 14 water becomes basic. So each decrease in pH by 1 pH unit means tenfold increase in concentration of hydrogen ions. Therefore it will be more acidic. And each increase in pH by 1 pH unit means a tenfold increase in concentration of hydroxide ions. Therefore, water becomes basic. So, you can say that from 0 to 7, water will be acidic. At 7, water is neutral. At 7 pH, water is neutral. And from 7 to 14, water will be basic. Right? So from pH value we can say pH affected by chemicals. Therefore it is a good indication that water may be changing chemically. So by this way we can say about water and purity of water. Water's pH should be between from 7 to 8.5 pH. The water is pure. Influence in this pH value shows presence of some another chemical or particles in water. So by this concept or by this standard, we can say many things about water, and this is also a very important physical property of water. So measurable property of water, pH, is also an important factor. So we have discussed about many different physical properties and different physical analysis of water. So we are ending up with this slide, and in our next lecture we will discuss about another physical properties and physical analysis of water. For today this is enough for you. We have started with color, physical property color, then we have discussed about taste, then we have discussed about turbidity, then we have discussed about pH. So these all are, and then we have discussed about temperature. So these all are very important factor of determining physical or carried out physical analysis, right? એટલે કે ફિઝિકલ એનાલિસિસમાં બધા બહુ જ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ ફેક્ટર છે, એન્ડ these all are very important physical properties of water. In next lecture we will discuss about conductivity, total dissolved solids, TDS, total suspended solid, TSS, and many more physical parameters. Today we are concluding our lecture here, but we have some short discussion about this physical property. From color we can say water is pure or polluted, or we can say many things about water from its color variation. So color is also a very important physical property, and it's also a very important physical analysis. By color we can say water is pure or polluted. We have discussed if there is influence of any metals or any another particles, then color changes or varies. Then we have discussed about order of a water. By order of water we can say about its physical property and physical analysis. We can get many ideas. Then we have discussed about its temperature, and then we have discussed about its pH. pH is one type of physical property, and in chemical property we will discuss in another way, right? So it's also a physical property and a chemical property according to its acidity and basicity. But by measurement it is called a physical analysis or physical property. So we can take it in both as a physical property, pH as a physical property, or a chemical property of water. એટલે કે pH ને આપણે બંનેમાં સામેલ કરી શકીએ છીએ, ફિઝિકલ પ્રોપર્ટીમાં અને કેમિકલ પ્રોપર્ટીમાં, બંનેમાં, બરાબર. અને આપણે ડિસ્કસ કર્યું ટર્બિડિટી. ટર્બિડિટી મીન્સ ઓપેક ઓર ફોમી ક્લાઉડી ફોર્મ ઓફ water, means presence of some impurities makes water opaque or cloudy, and a pure water is almost transparent. And we have discussed it NTUs, Nephelo turbidity unit, right? And another methods also. So this is how we can measure turbidity, and turbidity meter is also used for its analysis. And last one was pH metry, which you have studied in earlier standards, pH metry in your practicals. So by pH metry we can find out pH of any solution, and we can say there is a presence of any another material or absence of another materials by its pH. Means we can find out the purity of water by its pH. So these all are very important factors of its physical analysis, and we will discuss in our next lecture our remaining physical properties like conductivity, TDS, TSS, and many more. So today we are concluding our lecture here. Thank you so much, students. Stay connected. Thank you.